Hiya, I'm Jasper, and welcome to your video review for Nimona. It's a movie starring Chloe Grace Moretz, aka Hit Girl, and Riz Ahmed, aka the corporate crazy dude from Venom. At least the voices of those two. So, as always, I'm going to give you the good, the bad, and the furry. To start with furry, do you remember in The Emperor's New Groove when all of her minions at the very end were hit by all of her various potions and they turned into all of those animals? Well, basically every single one of those animals, not those exact characters, mind you, but those animals make an appearance in this movie. So if you like various furry things, you're going to see it in this, okay? There's a lot. You're going to be happy. Moving on to the good and the bad. So, this is a movie on Netflix. And so, of course, there are certain things implied with that. But what I will say is that one of the things that Netflix is doing right is the animation that they chose. Once again, Netflix is hitting it out of the park with having a new, interesting style of animation as opposed to fucking Disney that is still just doing the same shit that they've been doing for the last 7 movies that they've had or more, and just over and over and over again, just like they figured out a style and they've been sticking to it. With this one, it's once again a new and different style of animation. It's not Klaus per se, it's not Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse per se, but it's a different style, which I like. It's not quite as cool as Arcane either, but I like that they are experimenting and doing different styles of animation, so props to them for that. The storyline of this is essentially, if you think of like knights and royalty and the armament and horses that they would ride and whatnot, if you think of that, but you put it into more advanced technology than we currently have. So sort of like Sherlock Holmes in the 22nd century, if you've seen that show, where they, instead of riding around on horses, like the knights, instead of being on horses, their hover things happen to be like where you put your leg over top and you ride it out of there, even though it's like a hover thing. And then yes, they still have swords and they still have like crossbows, but the crossbows shoot like practical arrows and they don't have to like reload after each one. It's like but it's crossbowy. And so there's still royalty and they have armor that's very knight-esque style. So I think they do a really good job of combining that style with new technology. And it's not like Priest where they just had just the different bikes and then the microphone and then everything else was old western. Like in this one, they did a really good mix of basically if we had kept that style throughout technology advancing past what we have currently. So I really appreciated that, and it was a fun time. The storyline was fun. Basically, this knight is a commoner, and then he gets accused of something, and so he's trying to prove his innocence. I don't want to say any more than that. But obviously, so Nimona is the main character. It's voiced by Chloe Grace Moretz, and she just knocks it out of the park. Every second that she is on screen, every word out of her mouth is just, it's positively gold. It's hilarious, and it's fun, and it's awesome, and it's still like activity appropriate. Like it's not just slapstick comedy for slapstick comedy's sake. Like it works with the storyline that they are still having to cross while still being hilarious to a really high degree, and it's just a super duper fun time. I highly recommend this movie. And what I will say is that they do a good job of like still having the violence in there of like attacking whatever guards if they need to, yada yada. But and somebody explained it this way to me, and I think this is a good description, is that the kind of level of violence is like Shrek. When he's taking on all the guards and everything else, like yeah, he's punching them and pummeling them and like taking them out or whatever, but it's not bloody, gory, dismembering violence type of thing, but it's still like it works with that story. So I think that is a great way to describe how they do the violence in this movie, just to kind of gauge if you want whatever children you have to watch this movie. But I personally had a great time with this movie, so I highly recommend it to everybody. So everybody should watch this, is my parental guidance for you. So watch it. It's a really fun time. It's on Netflix. Watch it on a big screen if you can, because I think that this animation level and the spectacle that they have, I think it deserves it. And I really have nothing negative to say about this movie. So yeah, I think that the only thing that you could possibly say is negative is like, I think it would have worked possibly even better if, and minor spoilers, but still spoiler alert, is if our main dude and his friend had been like best friends. I almost feel like that would have been a more positive and a an interaction that I think would have given it more heart rather than to be romantic interests. So I think that it kind of took away some of the like not bro comedy, but like the broism of like if those two had just been best friends, and like that betrayal has a different feel than the romantic partner betrayal that we have in this one. So, but I think they did a good job with what they had for it. As just that was my thought to make it a little bit better. But I'm sure most people are going to disagree with me. And like I said, I enjoyed the hell out of every aspect of this movie. So definitely go and watch it. But that's all I have for this one. Thanks for coming. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you in the next one. Bye.